Hello friends, happy Monday. It is time for Mindset Monday Live. Super excited to chat with you today. I'm going to get this shared quickly and then we're going to dive right into today's message. Okay, so today I want to talk about a tendency, a habit that you can't afford to keep doing when it comes to your mindset if you want to change and transform your life. So this actually came out of a conversation, as usual, that I had last week with one of my clients, okay? And I'm just going to put this out there. It's pretty straightforward, but the thing that you have to stop doing, the thing that you cannot afford to continue this habit if you want to change your life, is being complacent when it comes to your thoughts and your mindset, okay? And what I'm talking about is complacency is really when you're just kind of letting life unfold, you're reacting to things, you're letting life, you're kind of in the mindset like you're going with the flow, which is fine, but you're not being proactive and thinking about how you actually want to think and feel, right? So you're spending your life going through the motions, living life, and you're allowing your mind to be dictated to respond to life as it's unfolding versus taking care of your mindset first and then applying it to the situation, right? And for a lot of people, like if you're living a really good life, this isn't going to be such a big deal. Like if life is going well and things are going well and you're just responding to that, it's not going to make a huge difference. You're going to be responding to the good stuff, but you're going to be in a cycle of this is how it is, and get into a cycle of as long as life is good, then my mindset is good. But the moment things turn or something happens or something unexpected happens and things potentially go downhill or it looks like they're going downhill, then what ends up happening is your mindset is now dictated by your circumstance. What you're thinking and feeling is now dictated by what you're experiencing, and you have no control over that, right? So I was having this conversation with a client and we were chatting about a feeling that she was having. And she said she went into the circumstance and it was a bit triggering and she had all of these thoughts and like she went into the situation and then it was like setting off this cycle of thoughts and reactions. And the first question I had was, did you do any mindset work before you went into that situation? And she said, I didn't do as much, or I didn't do any mindset work related to that, right? And this is so important, especially when you know that there are certain situations, things, topics, people, environments where you are likely to be triggered. If you know that you're going to be triggered when you sit down to pay a bill, or you sit down to make an investment that you want to make, or you sit down to look at your bank account, or you get ready to get on the scale, if you know that those are prime moments for your mindset gremlins to attack, then you know that those are the moments that you really need to be proactive with your mindset as opposed to being reactive. Those are the moments that are critical for you to take some time and think through, okay, this is a moment that can be challenging. This is a moment that can be triggering. What do I want to believe? If you go back to my video that I did on Thursday, what do you want to believe? Right? If an interaction with a partner or an interaction with, someone who you don't get along with, or you're having these circumstances that are unfolding, like topics or subject matters or areas of your life that are challenging for you, you have to be proactive about how you approach it. Be proactive from a mindset perspective. What do I want to think and feel about this? What am I choosing to believe in this circumstance and scenario? Because you actually have more power than you realize, right? And I think a lot of people tend to worry about the situation because that's their habit. And then they go into the circumstance and they go into the situation and then things happen and they get into a reactionary space, which creates this cycle of, experience, belief patterns. It reinforces the beliefs you already have, and it doesn't get you out of that loop, which means your experience doesn't change, right? So if you want to change and transform any area of your life, if you want to be more abundant, if you want to have more money, if you want to have better relationships, if you want to attract a better job, if you want to be a better parent, if you want to do whatever it is that you want to do, you cannot afford to be complacent when it comes to your mindset. It's just like if you want to lose weight, get healthy, you cannot afford to be complacent with what you eat. You cannot afford to be complacent about whether you get up and move your body or not. You cannot afford to be complacent about drinking your water and taking care of yourself. Your mind is no different, but your mindset has an impact on everything that you do. So the first question I typically ask a client is, you're having this challenge, did you do any mindset work beforehand? Are you taking control of the thing that you have control over, which is what's going on up here? Did you do some pre-paving? Did you do some thought work? Did you make an active choice? Because hear me when I say this, it's easier to lay the foundation for positive thinking, and I don't like to use that in a general sense, but for more proactive, fruitful thinking ahead of time than it is to try to clean up your mess after you're already worried, after you're already reacting, after you're already angry and stressed out about the circumstance. It's so much easier. Trust me when I say this. It is so much easier to lay the foundation first than it is to clean it up later. Because once you're trying to clean it up later, you already have this momentum and this energy and this vibration that is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. You know how if you're angry with someone, that grows. It's easier to get to a place of peace so you're not entering into that space of anger, so you're not being reactionary, so you're taking care of yourself and what you want to think and feel first, so that you don't have to react. Once you get into that reactionary space, it's going to be harder to clean up because there's a momentum that happens. Okay? So I need you to understand, when I'm talking about a mindset practice, this is why I talk about it. Same thing with a fitness practice. This is why we do it, right? Any kind of habit, the reason you do it, or any kind of positive habit, the reason you do it is because you want to lay a foundation first. I can tell you 1,000% that if I don't do mindset work, and part of my mindset work is moving my body, so if I don't do my mindset work and I move my body every day, like in the morning, weekends, I give myself some grace, but Monday through Friday, if I don't do that, what goes on up here is not always great. The way that I respond, the energy that I have throughout the day is not great, because I have learned that it's easier for me to start the day off with that. Now, your daily practice, I'm not telling you what to do, I'm telling you that I highly recommend you have one. So for you, it might be prayer. It might be reading some religious material. It might be journaling. For me, it's generally journaling some things. Sometimes it's meditation, moving my body. It changes from time to time. Usually I'm reading some kind of, personal development stuff, but those are the things that I'm doing to lay the foundation first, because it's 1,000 times easier. Think about your car. Think about your body, right? It makes more sense for you to maintain your vehicle and your body if you go to the doctor and get checkups and take care of things as they come up, being proactive with these things versus waiting until it falls apart and then trying to clean up the mess later. That is how your mind works. It is easier to do the work on the forefront ahead of time. And when I say easier, let me be clear. It's easier to get into that energy ahead of time than trying to clean up old energy after it's already said and done. May not be easy to do the habit, because that's a whole other conversation, but it's easier to get into that energy that you want to be in at the forefront versus trying to clean it up later. I promise it is so much easier. So how do you get into that habit? Well, you start small. Start with 10 minutes. I don't care what you do. Start with 10 minutes. Does it feel good for you? Can you commit 5 or 10 minutes to it? The answer is yes, you can, because you can do anything for 5 or 10 minutes, right? Read affirmations. When I first started doing this work to really get into a habit and a practice, I was literally, I think I had found like affirmations online that I really liked, and I would copy and paste them into a document. And then I'd sit down with my journal and I'd just write them. I would write like 2 or 3 pages of affirmations, and that was it. And then over time, it progressed to me writing very intentional, specific statements that apply to the areas of my life I want to change, to the vision that I want to create in my life and business, right? And now it's a combination of writing those statements and then also, working through some of the challenges that I have coming up. Like if I'm worried about something, I will go back to, well, what I choose to know and believe is, and I fill in the blank, right? So this is going to be a progression. You don't have to do the same thing. One of the things that you might find helpful is to go and look up what are different, people's morning routines. What are their mindset habits? What is it that they're doing? And if it feels good for you, or if it strikes your thought like, oh, that's interesting, then go do that. Like try it out and see how it goes. Okay? But this isn't something you're going to do once. It's like your health. You're not going to do it once and then it's going to change everything. Like your body needs to be maintained, as does your mind. So, my message for you, my reminder for you, is to be proactive. Be proactive with your mindset. Before you go into work and work with that problematic team or those people or those projects that you know are going to be a challenge, what do you need to do ahead of time to think better thoughts, to feel better? What foundational thoughts do you need to lay? What kind of habits do you need in the morning before you go in order to pave the way for a better circumstance? Think about that. Because remember, it's easier to do it on the forefront of things than it is to try to clean it up later. Okay? So I want to know what questions you have about this. Does this make sense? Do you have questions about the practice? Any questions about this at all? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Have you tried this before? As a coach who's been doing this for almost 10 years now, this is critical. And it is what I am constantly coming back to with my clients over and over and over again. So I'm sharing this with you as I do every Monday and Thursday so that you can take this information and apply it to your life. I hope it's helpful. I hope that you take it and you action it and you apply it to your life. And, I'm definitely open to your comments. If you have questions about it, feel free to post them below. And then if you're looking for additional support or you want to know how to work with me, feel free to check out my website and or send me a message and we can talk about that. But if you only do this one thing will transform so much for you. And I'm not saying do it for one day. I'm saying commit to it for however long you can. For me, it's a lifetime, right? For me, it's a lifetime. It's just like any other habit, okay? So be proactive with how you're thinking and feeling. Be proactive as you go into your day-to-day circumstances, your job, your conversations with people who, historically maybe you haven't gotten along with. Be proactive about that, what you're thinking and feeling, and I promise it will change everything for you, for the better, okay? So that is it for you, or for me this week, for Mindset Monday. Next week will be a recorded message, as I will be off for the week, but I hope that this has been helpful. Feel free to post any comments or questions that you have about this topic or any other mindset topics below, and I will be back on Thursday with another topic to share with you as well. So I hope you guys have a great Monday and a great rest of the week, and remember, be proactive with your mindset, okay? All right, take care, guys. Bye.